afterwards and hand it off to David across the way at Happy Quail, and he dries that out for his chicken feed. So it's a really beautiful sort of loop there that we've been able to really see come to fruition, especially at the farmers market. But we are we started from nothing. We started as a weekend pop-up juice bar in San Francisco in a wine bar. So the wine bar was closed during the day. It was on Market Street. And the owner there really loves juice. And he was like, well, nobody's using my wine bar during the day, so if you want to set up shop there, go ahead and do it. And so we did that on weekends while we were still working our full-time jobs in coffee at the time. And since then, I've grown very organically. I became a part of Slow Money very early on, and have really loved the community of people. And again, really want people to understand that our approach to juice is not about cleanses and kale, and there is that nutritional side, but we're approaching it from a direct sourcing side. So as we scale our business, our challenge is going to be how we maintain those direct connections with farmers and help to increase their demand, and talk to people like Grant at Heirloom Gardens about what color carrots he can grow for us. So that's the conversation that we're having right now. We're, like I mentioned, at Bequesa Ferry Plaza Farmers Market 2 days a week, and we're now working on opening our first brick and mortar retail location in San Francisco. And so hopefully that will happen soon. And again, there we're going to be able to work with people like Crop Bobster and other organizations that are helping to have retail businesses be able to work and build more sustainably. We're going to do some research on a gray water system to get that in there, because washing produce creates a lot of gray water that we can reuse in a lot of really interesting ways. Again, the really healthy, all organic juice pulp that we create, tons of, needs a home, can find other places to be used again and put back in the soil. So we're very committed to that side of juicing. And on the other side, really creating very special blends. We have an in-season blend right now called the Paramour. And she is orange, kiwi, strawberry, rhubarb, lemon, and lavender. Ooh. She is hot. So we're really, we're speaking to the foodie culture, but we're also creating this very direct connection for people who already care and already understand about things that we all, take for granted or enjoy every day, like juice, and really start a conversation about what a kumquat looks like, and offering people tastes of things like peppercress that they don't usually see. And so a lot of it is being able to showcase the bounty and breadth of all of this wonderful produce grown in California. So our challenges going forward will be to stay true to that mission, but we're going to stay true to that mission, and also in creating sort of an ecosystem and a very sustainable retail business in a very challenging and expensive city like San Francisco.
And courses, and we also have a kitchen entrepreneur program. Now, what I found in the course of doing this is that we have, there are a lot of people that want to know, but they're afraid to know. They don't want to come in and seem stupid or seem like they don't know what they're doing. And so it gets uncomfortable. And the whole purpose of TESS is to create a comfortable, warm environment for people to come and learn. And we don't, we want people who are interested in understanding about fresh produce in their daily lives. There's a lot of people that say, well, I hate to tell you, but I was born in LA, and I really thought strawberries came from the grocery store when I was growing up. And I got out to Brentwood, and I found out that, there's all these farms, and people go out and they pick stuff on the weekends, and they cook the stuff, and it tastes really, really good. And after I had a tomato from Brentwood, I didn't want to eat a tomato from LA. It tasted like paper to me. So the concept started to grow, but actually what happened was, most of the time I'm very embarrassed to tell this, but I'm getting over it. I had a dream about 13 years ago, and the dream was 10 acres for sale, a sign, a retail sign, and $160,000. That was my dream. And I told my husband about it, and he said, you've been watching too much TV. You think you're psychic or something? I don't know, And so 3 days later, I was driving to the grocery store, and I went around, saw the sign, for sale 10 acres. It wasn't there before. I'd been driving that route every weekend for 5 years. So I called the number. My home number is 516-1997. The number on the sign was 513-1997. So I thought, okay, I'll call the number. I'm from LA. 10 acre lots are $1 million, and we're done. Perfect. Called on the phone, and the real estate agent said, we have 10 10-acre plots. They start at $160,000. I went home, I told my husband, he said, what are you going to do with 10 acres? I said, I have no idea, but I know I need to do this. Well, I purchased the 10 acres in 2001. My husband died the day after escrow closed. And over the next 13 years, I managed to take care of myself. I am an attorney by trade. So, you know, an attorney going out and picking weeds off the ground and picking apricots and knowing which apricot is ripe and which one isn't was a really big deal. But I have, over the 13 years, evolved into what we have today. I've invested my entire retirement savings. When I listened to Carol talk, yep, that was me, into building the first building for Tess's, which is going to be a barn, farm market, and kitchen. We're going to carry local sustainable produce.
About myself, from my background, and I'm going to share with you 3 things that I love about coffee. So, Red Bay Coffee, we are coffee roasters. Really, I've been roasting coffee the last couple years, and just launched our coffee roasting company this year. And what we do is we focus on quality coffees. We focus on building fair relationships, beautiful coffees. We focus on small roasting. I built a roasting lab in my garden that is affectionately known as the dojo. And the dojo is where one practices the art, is where you test and develop your skills, and where you test theories. So I've been there building roast profiles and developing recipes for coffee. Red Bay Coffee, the name becomes from Red Bay, one Bay, because we're founded in the Bay Area. That's where I was born and raised. The red comes from the coffee when it's at its peak of ripeness. It's red. Now, I may need to remind everyone here that coffee is a fruit, and it grows. It started in Ethiopia, and from there it was taken around the world, and now it just grows in tropical climates. It does not grow in the United States, not even as down as far as Florida. So Red Bay Coffee. So what we're doing is we're roasting coffees. We also make cold brew coffee, and with our cold brew coffee, we soak coffee beans, coffee grounds, in cool water for 24 to 48 hours. With the coffee grounds, we donate them to organizations like Back to the Roots, who makes mushroom boxes and and creates mushrooms and stuff from it. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in San Francisco, California, and my first exposure to coffee. But anyway, so I went on to have a whole kind of career in photography and the arts, and worked as a photojournalist. Election of Nelson Mandela. I was a hip-hop photographer, doing album covers and having my photographs in Rolling Stones and Rap Pages magazines, and I was an activist fighting the war and Rodney King and all sorts of other, injustices in San Francisco and around the world. So I did a lot of that stuff. Eventually I opened a coffee shop called Guerrilla Cafe in North Berkeley. And we opened that really as an art gallery. I was like, wow, sure, that'd be great. As an art gallery, it was in a great neighborhood. And that was almost 9 years ago. And with that experience, it really brought me, it gave me a front row seat to watch the whole specialty coffee movement, this third wave coffee, as it transformed how people enjoy their coffee, how it transformed the whole coffee movement and the economy. And it was really a great experience. I went on to found Chasing Lions Cafe in San Francisco. That was 2 years ago on the campus of City College, where we're serving 600 to 700 students every day. And so that was also really awesome.
Of a business based in Sebastopol. We're called Feed Sonoma, Feed being an acronym for Farmers Exchange of Earthly Delights. And yeah, we all know, I mean, I think really the thing that keeps coming back to me being up here is not necessarily just Feed Sonoma, it's about why we are all here. And we know that the current financial system is broken, it's unsustainable. We cannot expect to reap returns off of businesses in faraway places we do not believe in, that we do not contribute to. Thus, every business that's been up here, every story, and I'm the same one, you know, I worked in the financial industry for 12 years, knew it wasn't part of me, pulled the ripcord about 11 years ago, and guess what? I took all the money that I'd saved up to educate myself on who I am, and that meant soulful journeys, such as Vision Quest, permaculture design courses, and yoga teacher trainings. Being there for when my daughter was born, and knowing that I could devote my entire existence to watching our children grow up, and that's exactly what this is all about. Everything that you can do as an individual within communities of small farming communities, or people that are taking the products that are being grown with love and without chemicals and converting that into a processed food that you can enjoy, is about shepherding the land so that we can hand it over to the children. This farm right here on this school, this is my first time here, this is pretty much to me seems like winning the lottery, and as far as a child goes. And I think that what we're all about is creating a world so that this is not the lottery, so that this happens every single day. And what do we do? What is Feed Sonoma? So basically what we do is we aggregate availability lists from farms, asking them what they're going to have available for harvest in the next couple days. And our goal as a business is to then provide the sales and marketing and distribution so that the farmer can stay on the farm if that's what they'd like to do. We all know that we can be very effective with CSAs and with farmers markets. And if a chef wants to buy direct from a farm and the farm's willing to deliver it, that's great. We support all of that. We are also trying to provide the infrastructure that allows a farmer to stay on the land, a buyer to access information about a farmer and also the produce as well, of course, by just calling one phone number or sending one text message or sending one email. Yes, on the website, feedsonoma.com, the phone number, that's my cell phone. So pretty much, this is how we do it. We start with small communities where you can actually make an effect within your community by not necessarily investing in that business, but by actually putting your money to work within your community. Like for me to stand up here and say, yes, we need a new truck, yes, we need a new website, yes, we need this or that, that's true. We also have grown our business organically without raising funds, because the biggest investment that someone can make is by investing, buying an item that comes from one of our farms, and we deliver it to them, and they pay their bill, and we pay the farm. That's basically an investment in the community. You grow a farming community by buying food from the farmers. If you can get it directly from them, obviously that's great. Farmer can make a higher price. Really what it's all about is also introducing efficiency. And so, yeah, we're micro-regional produce distribution. I hear a lot from people that may not have evolved in how they perceive the world, calling it the middleman, and I'm okay with that. I've been a middle child my entire life, and my job in the business world was a middleman. I was a broker. And that's basically what I'm doing now. And what does that truly mean to me? It means to me that I get the opportunity to bring people together when the opportunity doesn't exist for them to do it themselves. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy to chat with people. We're busy at work all the time. Getting a chance to come down here and speak to all of you is a real honor and a privilege, and I really am thankful to Slow Money and to all of you folks for coming. And but basically the biggest way that you as an individual can make an investment in your community is to buy food grown locally without chemicals, and that will support the generations to come, including my daughter, Raya. Thank you.
Incredibles. Thank you. Arno has a table at the back if you'd like to know more about that. Also, of course, buy local. And when's the last time you asked your chef what it tastes like to eat a microphone? No, if you ask your chef where they got their food, right? And if you know a producer, what a great opportunity to introduce them to other places where they could be sourcing the food that they're serving you at your next Friday night dinner. So with that, I'd like to bring up Lee, who will introduce our final speakers. Thank you.
We're going to have Casey from Community Grains, and what Community Grains is focused on is true whole grains, and also making flours and pastas and influencing the way grains are grown in California and elsewhere. And then